Look, I've seen Doom speedrunners, and despite what they'll tell you, they are men. They play like men. And you know why? Because they're not pulling up the weapon wheel like a girl. Minus infinity aura when you open the weapon wheel. Instead, they're quick switching seamlessly between weapons like men. And console players, we are so back because in Doom the Dark Ages, we can bind our weapons to buttons, and we have enough buttons to bind them all. So here's a quick guide. Let's get into it. Now, the default controls are packed with a bunch of inputs that are useless. Everything on the D-pad is useless. Objective scan, useless. Magnify, useless. Your auto sprint should be on, so clicking the left stick to sprint, useless. Obviously, you don't need the weapon wheel anymore, so that's another input. If you must, you can bind the swap weapon input to the interact button, which is circle on PlayStation. These two inputs will never interfere with each other, but really, it's not necessary at all. And you can see where I'm going with this. Now we have 8 freed up inputs that we can bind weapons to, but we only have 7 weapon classes, so we actually profited an input, which might become useful later because the devs have been teasing that they'll let you swap your melee weapons on the fly. So if that's something you can bind to a button, that extra input might be nice. And while we're on the subject, the devs added something really cool, weapon class switch style being a double tap. So what that means is, say you had the combat shotgun out last, you currently have the impaler out, and you want to swap to the super shotgun, you can just double tap the shotgun input and it'll bring out your super shotgun. You don't have to cycle through the combat shotgun to the super shotgun after you switch to the shotgun class. Now, the screenshot from id's official release on the patch notes has a PlayStation controller inputs for the menu. They're using a PlayStation controller, but this isn't a feature that's available to consoles. What the hell? I want this. Can we ask id Software to please make this a feature for consoles? Like, I would really like to have this, and evidently you could do it on controllers. So can we please petition the devs to do this? Maybe one of you Reddit or Discord creatures could start a discussion on this. It would be really nice if they added this. Console plebs, we finally got thrown a bone, so let's keep going with the momentum and see if they could give us this quick switch option too. It would be very nice. Anyway, if you're on console, you definitely need to try this out. It is a much smoother, nicer way to play the game than using the weapon wheel. So give this a try. It'll take a little while, not very long to get used to, and you'll love it.